doing a quick tutorial on how to print out your PDF patterns. So I'm going to be showing you on the 1215 Rory leotard. So when you get your pattern, you should have one pattern, which is the PDF that has all of the pattern pieces. And you should also have how to print your patterns. And this document just says how to print it using Windows and Adobe Acrobat, or how to use Mac and using Preview. I personally use Mac, so I use Preview and I don't have any issues with this, but I'm just going to walk you through how I do this so it might make it a bit clearer. Down the bottom of your how to print patterns is how to assemble it. So this print layout is how the pieces will look if you laid them out on the table after printing. So you're going to want to lay them out in the exact same order that I've got them laid here in the print layout section. Okay, so we're going to go to your pattern. I've opened this one in Preview. So we've got the Rory leotard in 1215. There is 7 pages, including the front page. And to print this, I'm going to go File, Print, or Command P. And then I have got all 7 pages selected, but I don't really want to print page number 1 personally because I'm not going to need this later, but I'm just going to cut the rest of the pieces out and use this pattern myself. So I won't print page number 1, but if you want to print all pages, just leave it selected at all 7 pages. So I'm going to go for a range, and I want from page 2 down to page 7. Okay, that should have selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the pages and not that 7th page, which is number 1. Now I have my printer, which is already set up there. I'm going to print this in grayscale on plain paper. I have picked portrait, A4, and now this part down here where we've got the scale. So we don't want to scale to fit. We don't want any of these options. We want to actually go scale and then 100%. Oh, nice and laggy. There we go. So 100% to the scale, and I only want 1 copy. Everything else, I don't touch any of the things down the bottom. So that's all that it should look like. You make sure that you've got scale at 100%, portrait, A4 piece of paper, and you would select all 7 pages, or if you want to print a specific page for some reason, you can choose a specific page, or you can also do a selection, and this allows you to click the, I'll show you, it allows you to click this, if it will work, there we go. So it'll allow you to click, okay, I don't want this page, and this page. For example, we'll take out page 3, so then it will print only the selected pages. But I'm going to do a range from 2 to 7. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and print that and grab it from my printer. So I've gone to the Adobe website and I have downloaded Acrobat Reader. And you can see I've downloaded it here. Let's open it up. Okay, so we're going to go open our pattern. And we're going to go open with and Adobe Acrobat. Okay, so now our pattern's in here. Let's go File, Print. And we've got my printer in there, 1 copy. I want to print in grayscale. Here it looks like you can choose which pages you want. If I wanted to do not that first page again. 2 to 7. And we're going size. We want custom scale and 100%, which is already at. Orientation. You could just use auto, but it is a portrait orientation. Nope, definitely not landscape. Definitely portrait. And then you just want to go print. This should all be outlined in this document here. So you can download Adobe from, well, the Acrobat from the Adobe website, open it up and print as I have just done there. Just make sure that your scale is set to 100%. And then once you've printed your pattern, you should be able to check each page as it has a scale bar at the top of each page in inches and in centimeters. So you've got centimeters at the top on the left, and you've got inches over here on the top on the right, and that is on every single top of every single page. There it is. And you can also see here A2, so that's row A, and then number 1, and then number 2. So going back to this document where you can see the setup, well, the image is not very clear, but it goes A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, all the way across for the 6 pieces. Okay, so that's how we print it in Adobe Acrobat as well. So now I'm going to go grab the pieces of paper from the printer and show you how to do the next part. Okay, so I have my setup here. I have my laptop out and I have the print layout on my laptop. So that's how I need to lay out the paper. I have my paper that I've just collected from my printer. I have a ruler, scissors, sticky tape, and a pen. So we've got our paper. At the top it says A1, 2, and if it goes down a row then it says B1, 2, 3, and so forth, and then C, and so forth. So if you have a look at this piece of paper, it says A2 at the top. So we're going to go A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. And that matches to what is on my laptop called A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'll just show you up here. So we can clearly see that this piece here and this piece here are one piece. We have this white strip that needs to be removed. So that's just your printing border that your printer can't print all the way to the edge of a piece of paper. So you end up with this white border around your paper. So you're going to go the edge of here down to the edge of here. I believe you can also mark printing borders, but I just usually just do this. So that will join onto that piece, and this piece is going to join onto this piece. So I'm going to cut that. Alright, now this piece, you're just going to align the writing, like the printing, from one to the other. Get that lined up. And line it up down the bottom. So these are your guides down here, so try and line up all the little lines. There we go. Slightly off just here. And then I'm going to stick your tape across. Now you don't have to stick your tape across all this bit because that bit's just going to get cut out anyway. So that's that whole piece is connected. That doesn't need to be connected. So you can see next that this piece connects down onto the next piece. So this piece and this piece need to go together to make the bottom of the undies. So grab your ruler and roll across the guides. And cut off the excess. Alright, then we're going to line it up. There we go. And sticky tape across. Okay, and then you're just going to keep going. So that piece will go into that piece, and so forth until all your pieces are joined. Alright, so then you've got your joined pieces. Now all you're going to do is cut them out. Now I don't know if you can see, but just here, that's out, I don't know, a mil. That doesn't matter. That's not going to make any difference. Just curve it down. Alright, then you would just repeat that for all of your pieces until you've got all your pattern pieces. Cut them all out, and then that's your pattern pieces. It is that simple. And one other thing I forgot to mention is that on the top, I mentioned this earlier, but on the top of here, on every single piece of paper, every single piece will have a scale. The top of this scale has inches. I'm going to go and check that the inches line up, which they do. 1, 2, 3, and centimeters. They line up. 1, 2, 3, up to 5, and that's how you know that your scale is correct. So now here's your pattern piece. If you don't know, this means on fold, so that will lay on the fold of your fabric, and all the instructions are on the fabric. These lines here along the edge, this is your seam allowance. Here it says cut 1 and cut 1 lining. You don't have to do lining. I personally like to do lining, and when I do use lining, I use the exact same lycra. I'll just use it's called Panna from Shine Trimmings and Fabrics, or a skin tone or a white, anything that you really want. But be careful on white, like anything that is white on the outside. The fashion fabric is white. The lining can't be skin color. Well, it can, but when it is, it makes the white less vibrant and it ends up being a little bit more off-white. So just be careful with lighter colors that you can't see your lining coming through. But generally I use a color called Panna, which is like a really light ivory shade. And then just your regular, nothing's different, regular lycra. I don't use any kind of special lining. And this gives a nice thick finish to it, which a lot of dancers really like, that extra lining. So that is about all. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you're ever stuck with anything, just get in contact with me on Instagram. I'm always happy to help with any questions you might have. Happy sewing!